Hello, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. My eyes are all watery. I just had a little sneezing fit. There we go. How are you today? I am doing well. It is Wednesday. It is time for weigh-in and weekly weight loss topic, and we will start with the weigh-in like we always do. 1 pound up. I'm fine with it. I hit it hard over the weekend. I mean, I shouldn't say that. I really shouldn't say that. I did not track this weekend, but I was very mindful. But we did have a lot of meals out. We had a lot of meals out. Friday night, we went out for Indian food. Saturday, Indian food and ice cream. Saturday, we had pinochle night. We had linguine and clams, and I had a piece of pie. And then Sunday was something. Oh, Sunday was Mother's Day. We were down at the Mount, and we went out for Mexican food. And I hit the chips and the guac and the queso and the salsa a little too much, probably. Although I say that, and like I was saying that to Doug, and he's like, "You didn't." He goes, "I was watching. You didn't." So maybe it just feels like it sometimes. I don't know. But, and so we had, Mexican. So 3 dinners out, and I gained a pound. And guess what? I'm okay with that. Like, I know a lot of it is probably sodium from eating out, and I know it's going to go away. And, I'm very lucky that my mindset is in a good place where, Monday, right back on it. Like, right back to the way I normally eat and nourish my body. Because I'm going to tell you, when you eat out that much, you don't feel that great when you eat stuff that you're not used to. So, up 1 pound, not even worried about it. That'll come off this week. This week should be a pretty decent week. We're very, very busy. Very busy. Like each night there's something going on because we're getting ready to rip out the laundry room. So like tonight we're taking out the washer and dryer. I'm going over to Jason and Michelle's, the Average J, to get them started on some bone broth tonight so we can can that up over the weekend. Doug's got a bunch of homework he has to do tonight. So like dinner's going to kind of be in shifts tonight. I'm going to make it this afternoon and everybody can eat when they want. And then tomorrow night, well, Doug has school. I don't have anything. And then Friday, Doug's off. We're going to start ripping out the laundry room. We have pinochle that night. Saturday, we're going to be over Jason and Michelle. So it's going to be a really busy couple days, but nothing that's going to derail me. Nothing that's going to be like, oh my gosh, once again, we're eating out every day, because it won't be like that. So that is a good thing. So looking forward to a great week ahead. Not upset about the pound after a holiday weekend. Not upset at all, especially because, like I said, 3 meals out. So let's get to the topic, which is how to stop avoiding certain high point foods and enjoy them instead. Well, that's all I eat is pretty much high point foods because we don't do anything. The only thing I do fat-free is half and half once in a while. But we pretty much do all regular food. Nothing light, nothing sugar-free, nothing fat-free. So a lot of our foods are high point. So you just have to learn how to fit them in. So I have not looked at this like I never do. Let's read this together and see what they have to say. How to stop avoiding certain high point foods and enjoy them instead. Ever think you'd be better off just banning pizza, ice cream, or whatever other food you can't resist? Science says that can actually backfire. Instead, invite your kryptonite foods into your life. Just map out your moves ahead of time. Guys, I cannot stress this enough. How many times do you hear me say, whatever you eat and do to lose the weight, you are going to have to do forever to maintain that loss. So you have to learn early on how to fit those foods in. You have to. I'm a perfect example of this. When I started Weight Watchers, I jumped in with all the hacks and all the fat-free and sugar-free. I did it all. I lost my weight. I lost it fast. But when I decided that that was not the way I wanted to live the rest of my life, when I started having health issues from all of the artificial dyes and the endocrine disruptors and the seed oils and the chemicals that are in the fat-free and sugar-free, that's when I stepped back and I'm like, wait a minute. This is not the way I need to do this for myself. Everybody chooses their own journey, and whatever journey you choose, I will support you. It's just what I choose not to do. And I gained like 8-10 pounds back when I switched over to all whole foods. I needed to reset my body and reset my metabolism to lose that weight by eating the way I wanted to. And I was in such a calorie deficit so bad that when I started adding a few more calories in is when I jumped. It took some time, but I managed to reset my metabolism and get back to where I wanted to be. But I wish I had known that from the beginning. Like, I thought when I started that, I can eat sugar-free Jell-O for the rest of my life. Yeah, no, I can't. Number one, I don't eat Jell-O anymore because it's not part of how we, eat. I'm trying to think of another, I was using sugar-free everything, sugar-free cake mixes and sugar-free this and fat-free this and fat-free that. And I learned that it's not what was good for my body. It's not what nourishes my body. It is not what fuels my body. So just take it from me. Whatever you're eating to lose the weight, you're going to have to eat forever. And don't believe me if you don't want to, but it's the truth. If you are eating zucchini noodles in place of pasta and you think to yourself, well, once I lose the weight, I'll start eating pasta again. Yeah, well, you'll gain your weight again. And, once I lose the weight, I'll get off of almond milk and drink dairy milk. You got to do what you're going to do. You have to. One of my big things, I used light butter. And now I look back and go, how did I even eat that? It doesn't taste good. It's nothing but seed oil and water. Like if you melt light butter in a pan, you see it's all water. You need to use 3 times as much light butter as you do real butter to make up for the taste and the consistency and everything. So kind of a wash. But that's just what I learned for me. You have to do your journey, your way, what makes sense for you. But just know that you're going to have to do it forever. Just know that. So it says to try, and I'm all about moderation. And you may say, well, that's fine because you can do moderation, but I can't. If I eat a piece of pizza, I'm going to have 5. That's a mindset issue. No one is standing over you with a gun telling you have to eat, a gun pointed to your head saying you have to eat 5. It's a mindset issue. You have to learn. Maybe if you generally eat 5 slices of pizza, tell yourself, okay, I'm going to have 3 until you finally can get it down to where you want to be. Like when I say slice of pizza, I live in Jersey. I live in the suburb of Philadelphia. We're right over the bridge, and pizza is a thing here. Like we never buy frozen pizza. We never go to Domino's or Little Caesar or Papa John's. Like that is not pizza where we live. Pizza is the local pizzeria on the corner. It's Sacanti's, it's Jacob's, it's La Familia. That's pizza. And the pizza isn't like a large pie is a large pie. It's not a Del Giorno slice. It's a slice. So I just want to put that out there. So when I'm saying, I can eat 1 slice of pizza and be satisfied, you've seen my videos, you've seen me eat pizza. That's a slice of pizza. So just clarifying there. I know I'm all over the place. I was on the phone with my sister this morning, so I'm running super late, waiting for the babies to come. And a little anxious about everything going on this week. But anyway, I digress. So you have to learn, if it's a food that you really, truly do not want to cut out of your life, you are going to have to learn how to control it. It's just like anything else in our life. We have to have self-control with so many things in our life. We have to have self-control while driving. We have to have self-control while living life. Like, we can't just like freak out at somebody and yell at the top of our lungs when they don't do what we want them to do. So self-control goes through our entire life. Food is no different. Food is no different. Where it becomes different is because food nourishes us, it tastes good, and people use it for comfort. So that's where food becomes harder than emotions and road rage and all that. It still can be done. No one loves food more than I do, my friends. And I think when you have that love for food, especially good food, you can kind of bring it down a notch. You can, like, I play games with myself, like I'll say, okay, I'm only going to have one piece of pizza and a salad because I know on whatever day we're going out to dinner and I'd like to splurge a little bit then or whatever. And, if there's like something in the house, like a dessert in the house, I'll say, you know what? I'm not going to eat that because I know on Saturday night we have pinochle and I'm going to have a homemade dessert. So I try to play like little mind games with myself to help myself with not saying no all the time. I don't want to say no every single day to a food in front of me, but I do want to press pause and say, I'm not going to eat this today because I know we're going out for ice cream on Friday or Saturday or whatever. Or I know I don't want to eat these 3 pieces of pizza right now because Saturday night we're going out for burgers. Whatever. You get my drift of my thoughts with that. So let me get back on topic here. So it says, choose one of your tricky foods, then ask yourself a few questions. So I'm going to choose ice cream because that is huge for me. I am a huge ice cream lover. And no, I don't want the ice cream that I don't want the Halo or the Enlightened or the, what's it called, Nix, or I don't know. That is not ice cream in my world because I am such a huge ice cream lover. I want real ice cream. Now, if you don't love ice cream and it's just something for you to eat, you might like that. Plus, I am also not a fan of the ingredients that are in those types of things. I want my ice cream to have milk, cream, sugar, and vanilla. And if it's mint chocolate chip, I want it to have, mint extract or mint oil and chocolate chips. Like, I don't want anything else in it. So we're going to use ice cream because I'm so picky with that. So it says, what is a sensible portion you can eat? Look at the points, values, and plan how to fit it in your budget. Normally, the ice cream that I like, a serving is a half a cup. Most of the time, that will satisfy me. If I know it is not going to, then I need to plan really well and be able to fit that in my budget. It says, where will you buy it and enjoy it? Eating out can help you avoid seeing the food every time you open the fridge. But if you do have it at home, try pre-portioning smaller servings. That is one thing I don't do. I do not keep ice cream in the house, generally. We go out to an ice cream parlor about once a month. There is one local to us. They make all of their ice cream homemade with good grass-fed cream, and it is amazing. It is amazing. I go out, I get an extra small, I enjoy it, and I don't have to think about it again. I don't have to, every time I open the freezer to get ice or to get something out, I don't have to see that ice cream that I will take out, take a spoonful, and put it back. By the time I do that 10 times, I've had a serving and a half. So for me, ice cream needs to stay out of the house. Now, Thursday, tomorrow is ice cream day for my little daycare kids. We are making homemade ice cream. We're not going to eat the whole thing because, they're little kids. So what do I do with it? Do I keep it in the house? Probably, because they will probably want some the next day. What will I do with it? I am blessed and very lucky to have multiple freezers in my house. It will go into a container and it will go into my chest freezer towards the bottom. And honestly, with it down there, I'm not going to see it. I won't even think about it. I won't. I will enjoy probably like a quarter cup of it tomorrow when we make it. Not even a whole half cup, just a quarter cup. And then it will get put away. And out of sight, out of mind. Other stuff that, are kind of triggers for me, I can have in the house. It doesn't bother me. Just because I know at some point, if I want it, I can fit it in. And also, if you know it's a trigger, leave it in the grocery store. When it's in the store, you only have to say no to it one time. If you bring it home thinking, well, I'll pre-portion it, I'll do this, I'll do that, you have to say no to it over and over and over again. And for some people, pre-portioning doesn't work. Sure, I could take, let's say I was a nut fanatic. I love nuts. Oh, I'll buy the big thing at Costco and I'll bring it home and I'll pre-portion it into quarter cup servings in little bags. Friends, that doesn't work for me because you know what? I'll grab 2 bags, especially if I pre-portion it myself. If I buy the ones that are already the 100-calorie packs, I tend not to grab more than 1. But if I'm pre-portioning it myself, number 1, I get a little generous with myself sometimes. Oh, it's supposed to be 28 grams. Oh, it's 34. That's okay. And it's just too easy to grab 2 bags of it. So know yourself. Know yourself. If you cannot just say no to it in the store one time. You don't have to see it every day and say no to it multiple times because eventually it's going to wear us down. That food is like a little toddler. Mommy, 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 mommy. They eventually wear us down. Then it says, when exactly will you eat it? At the designated time, ask yourself, do I really want this now? If not, reschedule. If you are going to have a splurge, a treat, a whatever, make sure you really want it. Don't just eat it because it's there. If you just had this beautiful dinner where you are full and satiated and satisfied, but you planned on having dessert, don't. If you are full and satiated and satisfied, don't have that dessert right away because you're not going to enjoy it as much because you are already full and satiated and satisfied. Wait 2 hours, 3 hours. Wait until the next day and have it when the thoughts of that delicious, good dinner are gone and you want a good thought left. Just because you plan to have it on a certain day doesn't mean you have to. You can adjust. And it says, who will join you? Consider sharing the experience and your plan. Friends can help you stick to it. We do that with our ice cream. We make it a family night. I mean, sometimes the boys are here, sometimes they're not. Sometimes it's me and Doug. It's a little mini date night. And by having him there with me, I will never get smaller than an extra small because number 1, bigger. Doug does not get bigger than an extra small. And if I did, he knows I give him permission, my friends, to be the food police. Some people may not like their spouse, significant other, whatever, policing them. I do, and I appreciate it. Because sometimes you need to hear from somebody else to say, yo, Joni, an extra small's enough. Or Joni, do you really want that? And it helps me stop and think. So you have to do what's comfortable for you. But for us, going out together to get something is, like I said, like a little mini date night, and we keep each other in check. So it says, put it all together. I will eat X. And this example that they give is 1 cup of cookie dough ice cream. When? On Friday after work. Where? At the local ice cream shop. And who? With my best friend, Kate. Is it always fun having to hyper-focus on food and having to hyper-focus on what we do? It is not. But my friends, for some of us, especially if we are in the middle of a weight loss journey, the beginning of a weight loss journey, it is reality. We have to think about food, and we do have to think about it often. Once you get comfortable and to the point of where you know what to do, sometimes you can be a little less rigid about it. I try not to do spur of the moment, but I might say to Doug on Wednesday, hey, I'm really in the mood for ice cream. Let's plan for Sunday after church to go out for ice cream. So I know I have that time to plan for it. I don't have to hyper focus on it, but I know I can plan for it. I know that morning I'm not going to have a real high calorie breakfast. I'll have a nice low cal breakfast and use some of my calories for ice cream. Is it the healthiest thing? No, but that's okay, because once in a while it doesn't matter. 90-10, my friends, 90-10. 80-20 if that's what you like. 80% of the time, you do good. 20% of the time, you let the reins a little bit looser. I try to strive for 90-10 for me, but it's what works for me. You have to find out what works for you. Now, I would not go any lower than 80-20. Because you can say, well, I'm going to go 50-50. Well, that's not going to work. And we know that in our head. We know that. So try not to hyper focus, but try to plan, if that makes any sense. And I'll tell you, people like myself, YouTubers who do focus a lot on food and recipes and cooking for you, we can tend to hyper focus on food. Because it's constantly on our mind because, what are we going to film next? When are we going to film this? We have this collab and that collab. I've stepped back a lot from that because I was hyper-focused. I was constantly thinking about food, and that is not a healthy thing either. I have stopped, for the most part, taking any sponsorships that involve tastings and stuff like that because I don't want to have that. And most of the time, they're not foods I'm going to eat anyway. You know that. So you have to stop and reevaluate constantly. You have to stop and reevaluate constantly what is going to be the best for you and your health. And sometimes hyper-focusing is not good. So plan it, but don't put it so hard in stone and don't have it so ingrained in your mind that that is all that you are thinking about. You are more than the food that you eat. You are more than the food that you eat. Remember that. So it says, let's dive a little deeper. Quick, don't think about your favorite food. You're thinking about it right now, right? Oh my gosh, I swear I can read their mind sometime. That's how our brains work. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. This just used all the same words I used. I swear to you, I don't read this before I start. And I don't watch anybody's videos that talk about the topic before I do because I don't want to be swayed. So it says they also tend to become hyper-focused on foods that we love and when we do start thinking about them. So then when people deprive themselves of those foods, they can end up craving and eating more than those that don't. 100% you can binge. You can binge. If you don't allow yourself to have it, you are going to binge on it. It says what to try instead of swearing off a certain food. Put up guardrails. Maybe you only eat pizza at restaurants or have wings while watching a game or pre-portion leftover desserts and stash half in the freezer. In other words, put the brain power you would have spent trying to avoid those foods into finding solutions and devising a plan on how to enjoy them and still stay on track. You're likely to be more successful in the short term and on your journey in the long run. 100%, my friends, 100%. When you deprive yourself. That's why I'm not a big fan of a lot of these deprivation diets like keto or I don't even know what else. Things like that. Because I think a lot of times once you have that and you know you can't have something, it makes that desire even more. It comes down to one word, my friends, or 3 words, 2 different words. It comes down to moderation and portion control. And guess what? It's going to be the hardest thing you ever do. It is, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Sometimes you have to just say no and push the plate away. Yes, we want more. We always want more. Stop and enjoy your food. Eat it slowly. Smell it, taste it, look at it, feel it, like the textures. Enjoy your food and you will need less. I promise you. I promise you. And eat the good stuff. Because I know that back when I used to eat, I always use ice cream because that's my kryptonite. Back when I used to eat the Halo Top and the Enlightened, it was never enough. It was never enough. The serving size was never enough because it just wasn't that good. I pretended it was, but it wasn't. Yeah, so that's it. I know I was a crazy woman and this was too long, so I'm going to cut it right here. I'll leave some videos here. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, thumbs up. Love you all. See you in my next video.